Good afternoon, everyone! Hope you're all having a great day. Today we're playing some Life Force on the NES. A shoot 'em up by Konami. I just need to make sure that my volume levels are good because I messed with everything when we did the Wii U eShop closing stream recently, so I'm just going to actually start the game up here because there's no music otherwise. This is not a serious attempt. Prepare to watch me get destroyed in the first level here, just because I want some background music to check the levels. I think it should all be good though. But yeah, I've been playing this game a little bit, and I think I'm good enough that we should hopefully have a winning run in the not too distant future. So that's what we're going to be aiming for today. Alright, those volume levels sound pretty good, so just give me another second to set up here. Funny that I'm not even touching anything, and these guys don't care all that much. They're mainly just for dropping power-ups anyway. But this game gets pretty brutal, and it's one of those shoot-em-ups where the walls are instant death. And that's the main thing you're going to be grappling with throughout the stages. But yeah, 1 second here and we'll get started. The J Wizard, welcome! Surge, welcome! Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Your mom talks about it. She had to use the Game Genie to slow it down. Fascinating! So that was always a feature of, like, you know, the NES Advantage arcade stick controller, for example, had a button on it, which, you know, was called the slow button, but what it just did was you repeatedly pressed the pause so that it kind of gave a slow down effect. I never heard of a Game Genie code that actually slows down gameplay, though. That would be pretty cool. I did enter the Konami code just for fun, just to see what it did, and it does give you 30 lives. So, you know, that's another option as well, if you're looking for a little bit of extra help. But we're going it no cheats today, and see if we can make it to the end. You also get 3 continues along the way, which, you know, using a continue takes you all the way back to the beginning of the stage. There is that downside, but yeah, just note that you can run out of those. And yeah, we're just gonna see what we can do. Surge, hello! Thank you so much from the Ukraine. Hope you're doing well. On a difficult game, yeah, it's Konami, so you know they're not gonna be too forgiving here. The Jade Wizard, where had you heard that game over music from before, I wonder? But okay, well, again, thanks everyone for joining. I didn't know how well a afternoon stream would do, but let me see here. If we press that, I think everything should be finally good. Let's begin. But yeah, I don't usually do afternoon streams. I have no idea what the best time of day to stream is. Everyone has kind of a different opinion of it, and we're already doing well. Let's just give up on this run. Gotta get used to the whole commentary and playing thing. But yeah, I usually do the evening streams, and those seem to go over pretty well, but I know that there's a lot of people who can't make them as well because they're a little bit late. So I thought trying something more in the afternoon would be good. I saw on Twitch that Mitch... Why can't I play? The second you start streaming, right? I swear, look at my high score down there. 223,000. I made it like right to the end. And that's why I thought, you know what, this would be fun to stream, but you just gotta get back into the groove. That's how it goes with these things. As I've been trying to say, though, I was on Twitch, and I saw that, you know, Mitch Flower Power had, you know, like 1,000 viewers in his stream in the afternoon. I was like, you know what, I can get at least, like, you know, 0.01% to that. And usually I get all these. Again, we're gonna have to warm up here after I didn't play it for a couple minutes. But the way it works is you pick up the power-up items, and then that bar at the bottom progresses along. And when you press the A button, you get whatever section is currently lit up. Like if I pressed A now, it would upgrade my laser weapon. The first level is really cheap. Everything kind of just comes out from the walls. And it's like, good luck knowing that that was going to destroy you. Option's really good because you get this guy that follows behind you, and it essentially, you know, doubles your firepower. So that's kind of the thing that you want to have a lot of the time. But yeah, the first level is pretty unforgiving. I remember, you know, when I first got this game, just putting it in and got absolutely wrecked this early on. But once you get into the groove, it's not so bad. Wish I had upgraded the missiles by this point. Yeah, I just gotta get back into the swing of things. I'm sure we'll be fine, though. But again, hope you're all having a very nice afternoon. And yeah, I'm gonna look over at the chat whenever I can. You all know I love to interact with the chat there. Shmups, not the best genre for that sort of thing. This is the kind of case where it'd be nice to, you know, have a co-commentator or something who could read that and give a bit of a, you know, hint with that. But okay, so and see, like, that's cheap right there, where the wall just closes in. It's like, if you didn't know it was going to do that, you might, you know, kind of hang back, see what's going to happen. Well, that's too late. You're dead. The very end of Gradius does something like that too, where the door right before the final boss closes if you don't know to rush it. And that's it. You know, your whole playthrough just completely ruined because you didn't know that a door was about to close on you. See, like, this guy coming out of the ceiling and the floor right there, I don't know how many times I got killed by that, forgetting it was going to happen. But okay, we're kind of into the groove now. Although we have a really annoying part coming up here where you have to shoot through the walls, but the walls regenerate. And because I have the laser weapon, I destroy walls, like, super well. But that causes problems. Like, sometimes the wall in front of me will respawn before the one behind me. I guess just because the game is, like, so confused. Ugh. Oh yeah, well, what I usually try to do is line up my my options too, because I think that messes up. But okay, there you go. First level pretty much done, except for the extremely easy boss fight that's coming up. And this is a good chance to kind of just sit and do nothing because the boss takes like 30 seconds before the fight starts. Okay. Walter, welcome. You like this time. Give something to watch, listen to at work. Well, I appreciate that. That's how I never know, right? It's like, you know, I know people are going to be in the middle of things during the day. I don't want to, you know, interrupt that. I know one time I did a stream on a Saturday morning, and I think that stream peaked at like 6 viewers. I thought that would be good, you know, Saturday at like 11 a.m., you know, morning into the afternoon, and yet, you know, like hardly anyone showed up for that one. So I learned my lesson there, and I never tried to do that again. But yeah, to see everyone here, thank you all so much for stopping by. This is the first boss, and it's probably one of the easiest bosses in, like, video game history. There he goes! Palpuck, you need to shoot the things. Oh, that's what I've been doing wrong this whole time. But thank you, though. So what do we do here? So the next thing I'm going to try and upgrade to is the force field. So let's just get some more power-up items on screen. Just like in the original Radius, the force field is all the way to the right at that bar down there. There you go. And now I'm going to do a few speed power-ups. So, of course, in a shmup, speed is like the most important thing. If you can't dodge enemy attacks coming at you, it's like, what are you even doing? But the thing is, you have to know, you know, have a balance as well. Like, what's too fast? And this is a game where I don't know if I've ever maxed out how fast I could go, just because it reaches a point where it's like you lose control. And if this was a shmup where, you know, the walls don't kill you, then it might be a different story. But to have to go through narrow passages while also moving at Mach speed, that's a tough thing to balance. So like, I don't know if I should do one more or if this is pretty fast. Also, I love so much stuff on screen that it's, you know, kind of slows down itself. No cheats or turbo controller required. Now, I should have destroyed that volcano, but that would have been the, you know, smart thing to do. Alright, I sped up one more time. I'll probably regret that. So I go with the laser weapon. There's also the, there's another one too. It's kind of like a sonic wave. And I was, experimenting with that when I first started playing, but I had far less luck with it. Lasers are typically like the best weapons when it comes to a shmup. Very powerful. So can't complain about that too much. See, this is where you need the speed. I don't know how many times when I started playing I got to this part, and those things are insta-death. I hate it. It's the worst when you're playing a shmup and you're just used to kind of destroying everything, and then all of a sudden, they introduce undestroyable insta-death objects coming at you. And, if you're not prepared for it. I feel like there's a lot of memorization in this game. There's definitely been moments while I've been playing that's like, I don't know how you're ever supposed to dodge that on your first playthrough. And I'll obviously continue to point those out along the way. Otherwise, yeah, just a casual stroll through space right now. And you can hold the B button down pretty well in this game to get some rapid fire going on, especially when you have the laser and all of the options equipped. The original Gradius was a little more unforgiving when it came to, just letting you rapid fire. Unless you did this extremely tedious wrapping the bar at the bottom down thing when your score was at an exact number. But you're usually just better off mashing the B button in that game. And then this is also, of course, a game where if you die, you lose pretty much all of your power-ups. So congratulations, you have to work all the way back up to where you were again. It's not so fun. It's one of those games where it's like, if you die, it's almost worth just pressing the reset button and trying again. Alright, so here's the second boss. And the second boss is surprisingly involved. Like, the bosses after this, the third and fourth level boss are... Wow. Speaking of which, alright, let's try that again. I was just mentioning, I haven't done that since, like, one of the first times I played. Alright, from the beginning. It'll give me a chance to read the comments here. But hello, everyone, and welcome. Thanks for joining today as we play some Life Force. This is kind of what you can expect from this. We need to get a good run all the way through. And yeah, for whatever reason, the second level boss is more difficult than the third level boss and the fourth level boss. So, but that was just bad playing right there. Omar, you love Life Force and Salamander. Aren't they fun? Is this one of those die once and everything is ruined game? Yeah, exactly, the Jade Wizard. Exactly. Has anyone played Platypus? Oh, cool. Yeah, it's 3:35 here in the Eastern time zone. Yeah, sorry, the Jade Wizard. R.I.P. Okay. Swear game over. You swear that game over song was in another game? Yeah, well, it's probably in other Konami games as well, right? But all right, now that we've kind of gotten back into the groove here, let's see if we can play a little bit better. That was the warm-up run. Always got to have one of those. And yeah, I never get hit by those bouncy balls there. But you can see how fast the laser was dealing with it. I had the ripple weapon when I got there once, and that was useless. Great music, though. You can always expect great music from Konami games. They're just all around, some of the best on the NES for sure. And there's also Gradius 2 in Japan. I've never played that one, because I think the release went Gradius 2, and then Salamander/Life Force, right? So at some point I'll have to pick up a Famicom copy of Gradius 2. I always thought that Salamander, or rather Gradius 2, was just localized as Life Force, but then I realized that was not the case. But shmups are great. Always love a good shmup. Now, I always mean to equip missiles by this point, because missiles are nice. They kind of travel along the floors and ceiling, or the walls if it's a vertical level. And they're great for, getting rid of those annoying cannons that shoot, like, the bullets that are now stuck on screen. But, okay, missiles are now equipped. It's funny, I've talked about Abadox in the past, and this game definitely has an Abadox feel to it. Going inside that kind of living organism and defeating it from within. I don't know which one came out first, though, so, like, who copied who? Again, like, it's just so cheap when a wall will close in like that, and if you're not ready for it, that's it, you're toast. Also, there's a one up here. You stay a little bit higher. Oh, we're not getting enough thing? YouTube's kind of barking at me, but I don't think the stream is having any issues, so... YouTube's just being dumb. Yeah, so this is a one-up here, this flashing item capsule. You want to make sure you grab that. Ugh. And the hitboxes in this game are very generous. I love it. There's nothing worse than a game with like an awful hitbox where it looks like you didn't get hit, and then you did. But in this game, you know, there's definitely some leeway, which I really appreciate. Okay. So yeah, I don't like this part at all. I've kind of gotten it. See how the front there kind of respawned before the rest of it did? I don't know how many times that's killed me. And then at that point, it's like, you might as well just reset. We haven't really played that much. But okay. 2 successful passageways through the whatever that is so far. And now just, again, you gotta wait for this boss to show up. It's cool the first time, and there's a couple other bosses like this as well, but, you know, having to watch this animation every time you start the fight's not so great. Surge. So no, this is the legit cartridge on I'm playing on the AV Famicom, but no, everything's legit, no emulation here. And again, we're not using the Konami code, no save states, we're trying to do a full run through the game. As you would have done it back in like 1988 when it came out. And it's like the eye waits until then to show up, so you gotta do like one more loop around. And then just hold the B button for like 2 seconds and it's dead. Gradius 2 is not released in North America because of some tech issue, says Jared. Welcome! Yeah, it's not funny. Konami usually found ways to work around that though, like how they had to, you know, redo the sound in Castlevania 3. You know, on account of Nintendo not allowing that, you know, the special hardware that they had made to get that really nice sound that they got out of Castlevania 3 in Japan. Anyway, so let's get the force field up just in case. Which Castlevania 3 soundtrack do you prefer? Do you like the Famicom version? Do you like the NES version? I used to like the NES version more until I played more Castlevania 3. Because, I don't know, there's something about the NES version of the first level's music. It's really ominous. I like it. But then I played more of the Famicom version, and I got really into that. And then, like, the later levels, I really like the Famicom renditions more than their, you know, NES ports. But they're both great. It's kind of cool how, you know, there's 2 different styles of that. So yeah, you can destroy these volcanoes, even though it doesn't look like it. It's got to hit them, like, in a really specific spot. Alright, let's beat level 2 this time. Let's move on. Level 3 is probably my least favorite level, so, you know, this isn't even really that big of a deal right here. You'll see level 3 when we get there. But I've mentioned before, though, you know, shmups are always fun. 1943 is probably my favorite NES shmup. No, it's nice and long. It's like 24 levels long. Even has a password system so you can continue. Has the whole stat system, so there's even some strategy there in terms of, you know, what you upgrade when. You know, great music, great level design, great gameplay. So if you're looking for a, you know, a really good NES shmup to play, 1943 is my go-to. But, you know, this has been great as well. Really liking this. I've also played Gunnak, Abadox, as we've discussed. Image Fight's okay. The weird thing about Image Fight is that it lets you choose what speed you move, like, anytime you want. So you can always shift between 5 different speeds, where, you know, it seems like a thing in shoot-em-ups is that usually, you know, you have to pick up upgrades to increase how fast you move. And yeah, there's nothing worse in a shoot-em-up than not being able to move quickly. Alright. Coming up on the boss here again. I might have increased my speed too many times. I'm moving really quick, which makes it hard to navigate through tight passages, but hopefully we're good. And what messed up my very good playthrough last time was in level 5, there was like this really tight spot you had to squeeze through, and I'm not sure how the game expects you to do it. But alright, concentration time. Okay, there you go. But that's not the boss. Don't worry. That's just like boss part 1. Which again, it's really strange how involved the level 2 boss is. Considering the first one is so easy, and then you're going to see the 3rd and 4th bosses are really easy. But level 2, for some reason, 2-stage boss right out of the gate. And this stage is near impossible. Like, if you die, as you saw, you go back to, like, no power, no speed, no weapons. Good luck not getting destroyed by this thing with none of that. Also, holding down on the B button and spamming the screen with bullets, you know, slows everything down. So take advantage of that. And see how many hits it takes, even with the laser. But there you go. Guardian Legend! Yes, I love the Guardian Legend. You get that, you know, overworld exploration Zelda style mixed with shoot 'em up elements. It's always a good time. That was a game I played many years ago, and I loved it. So I'm gonna set that bar down there so that it's ready for another shield should I take hits. So here's where things get tough. You got fire on the ceiling, fire on the floor. And you got to be ready for stuff to come at you at any moment. So I'm just going to kind of concentrate here. Whoa, see that? That would have been... Oh, I got to redo the shield. Got it. Okay. Sometimes you don't even realize that you took hit from a thing. Oh. I'll keep trying. That was a horrible death. Because, yeah, you can't touch the top. You can't touch the bottom. I think I had speed upgraded more than I would have liked. Again, that balance between if you're moving too fast, if you're moving too slow. The trick I've found with the fire that jumps from the top and the bottom, or the first time you play, it's like you're not going to be ready for that whatsoever. Just be on whatever part of the screen the fire's not. So if the fire's coming from the bottom, move to the top of the screen. If it's coming from the top, move to the bottom, and it won't hit you. But, you know, it's nice if you have a little bit more than just the default speed to dodge that sort of thing. But again, if I make it to the boss at this level with no power-ups, the boss is easy peasy. So we're just going to see if, you know, I can manage to pull that off. Tough game, though. Tough game. And it's very unforgiving, again, when you die and you lose all your stuff. And then the game likes to not give you any power-up items for, like, 5 years. Or sometimes it just, you know, showers you with them. And then other times, it's like nothing for 5 minutes. Yeah. And again, you know, when you're so weak, it's like, do you just dodge? And then they put those guys so close to the top of the screen. It's like, good luck getting up there and actually getting the power up without mashing into the fire. Basic weapon, everybody. Get a few speed power-ups if we can. Oh, nope. Tried to get into kind of the middle where it wouldn't hit me there, but no such luck. The next level is really good for getting repowered up at least, so that's why if you can kind of squeeze your way through level 3, you know, you have a chance in level 4, and also, this is just like a required enemy fight for some reason. It's not the boss. There you go. Alright, again, going into the boss with no power-ups, but for whatever reason, this is a really easy boss. I say that, though, I'll probably get destroyed, considering I'm streaming it. It's always the way. But yeah, so shooting the head does do damage to it, and it's just a matter of he shoots, like, straight at you. And if you're not right in front of his face, he won't hit you. And that's as simple as this boss is. And I don't think I have, like, any speed increases right now or anything, so... Just imagine, as I've got to this point, you know, completely powered up before, and this boss is like the biggest joke. Again, not sure why they made the second one so tough. There you go. Big Phil, yeah, I was hoping that, you know, being during the day, more people would be able to join, so thank you all. Hope you're all, you know, having a nice Wednesday. Alright, let's try and get some actual power back. Like I said, though, this is a really good level for, you know, beefing back up if the last few levels kind of got you down. Unfortunately, we did lose, you know, a number of lives. We have continues. We'll see what we, you know, what we can do. You know, I feel bad playing games where if I get game over, we have to go like all the way back to the beginning and play them again. But then I think, you know, everyone else, you know, speedrunners in particular, their whole thing is just, you know, trying, messing up, resetting, trying, messing up, resetting. So you know, maybe I shouldn't feel so bad about that. But yeah, again, you know, just like Abadox, for whatever reason, shmups like their, you know, being inside something and seeing all the guts, you know, level design. Okay, what? So I need to pause just to see where my bar is at the bottom. In Gradius, it's really nice. It's like all laid out. You can see the actual text for, you know, what's coming up on that bar and exactly where you are at that moment. But the really cool thing about Life Force is that it has 2-player simultaneous play. And as a result of that, the bar gets kind of mushed, and they have a whole section to the right down there where, you know, the second player's bar could be, should they be in it. But let me just read the text here for a minute, or your comments. Oh, so you had oh, you had to play Pirates in the Ukraine. Interesting. Just looked up Konami game over to see. It's used again. Yeah, Konami was great. Whether it was game over music, whether it was any music, they knew what they were doing. Do I play without turbo? So I'm just playing with the stock NES controller in this game. But it is pretty nice. You know, there's some shoot 'em ups where it's like if you hold the B button, nothing happens. And this one, it's pretty good what you get just for holding down the B button. But yeah, see how they kind of just like shower you with power-ups here? It's awesome. Okay, so what's it say at the bottom? Option. I want the shield. There we go. But yeah, you can see, you know, level 4, for whatever reason, way easier than level 3. I'm not going to speak too soon, though, because I probably will all of a sudden get my butt handed to me and eat those words. But, you know, it's hard to be more difficult than blazing fire on both the top and bottom of the screen. These things hatch and spew a whole bunch of bullets everywhere if you don't destroy them fast enough. So, you know, that's a kind of scary one to do at the end, you know, squeeze into that spot. And then this here, this is like, you know, if you're not ready for that. Yeah, I had a really good run going at one point when I got to level 4 for the first time. And you'll see up here, something really silly. And again, it keeps happening. Thankfully, you know, again, look at that beautiful hitbox. It's so nice. So, yeah, this thing right here, I was, like, right up beside it. Because when it first appears on screen, it's invincible. And only once it kind of shoots the, whatever it is, the veins out, can you destroy it. So I was like, okay, it's just, you know, a background object or something. Or, you know, a solid obstacle. And then I was, like, right up beside it when it shot those out at the first time. It's like, how are you supposed to know that's going to happen? How are you ever supposed to expect that? So, yeah, there's cheap deaths in this game for sure. But once you learn what you know what they are, they're easy to dodge the next time at least. And what am I even trying to power up for now? I did speed again. That was probably a bad idea. I'm gonna miss some power-ups there as well. And this part's easy too. Again, the first time you play this, you're not really gonna know what to do. If you stay at the bottom, those lasers will never hit you. And then like these shrimp things come down, and they kind of fly everywhere. And they're instant death should they touch you, because why not? You know, why would a shield ever be good for anything? But just pay attention to the shrimp, don't worry about the lasers, and you'll be just fine during this part. But yeah, as you can see, I'm just holding the B button here, and like, this is how it just shoots naturally. No pro controller required. So the first time I ever got to this boss fight, I didn't have any weapons, and it went on for a while. He eventually shoots his eyes out, and they start attacking you. But if you have the laser, it's like, he's dead. No problem. Alright, just let me catch up on the comments here for a second. Again, thank you all for joining. Hope you're all having great Wednesday afternoons. Glad to see that, this time is working out for everyone. You like Turbo for beat 'em up and shoot 'em ups, Jared. Yeah, it definitely gives the game a different feel, right? I just like when the turbo is built in. Like, there's no reason why holding the B button doesn't just always default to being turbo, even with the normal controller. Have I changed the rubber? No, this is a stock NES controller. I've so far beat nearly 400 NES games with it, and it's still hanging in there. Take that, modern technology, made to break. No, it feels great. I would not do anything to mess with this controller. I love it. It's been good to me all these years. You have to go to the store, the Jade Wizard. Well, have fun. Thanks for stopping by. But yes, thank you, Jared. I am in the old Canada land. But okay. So, according to what it sounds like in the instruction manual, there's 6 stages. NES games always kind of let you know like how many levels there was going to be. Sega Master System was like that too. It was just an 8-bit era thing. Even Super Nintendo was a little bit like this, where you generally had a gist of just how long the game was going to be before you even played it. Sometimes even on the back of the box it'd be like a bragging point, right? Like, oh, 10 levels of intense action. Okay, so what am I trying to power up now anyway? Missiles. Let's do some more missiles. Because yeah, I did die, so I need to kind of get some of my power-up stuff back. But yeah, so from what it sounds like, there's going to be 6 levels, and this is already 5, so, you know, if this can keep going well. I didn't even have the powered-up laser. Interesting. You know, we're already like 2/3 of the way there. Whoa, that's terrible. Terrible, terrible. Yeah, I don't think we need to go any faster. These things suck. They can't be destroyed. Just kind of gotta avoid them. Which is kind of scary. And they're instant death as well, of course, because why not? Like, what am I even trying to power up at this point? Oh, I could use another option. Okay. So this level starts out simple enough, but there is a part at the end, as I said, that I got to. And I have no idea how you're expected to dodge it. Okay. Great music, though. Great Konami music. I know enemies even come from the back at some point. That's the worst in shmups. You never want stuff coming from behind. As, you know, in some shmups, they even let you shoot behind. And I mean, I can understand that then, but in this game, there's nothing like that. You can't turn around. No backwards weapon. Yeah, so I think this is the point where enemies kind of get spewed behind you. Oh, okay, we survived it. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, God. And they put so many on screen that it starts slowing down. Alright. I think that's it, though. Okay, then we got, falling stalactite part. Always a classic. Okay, I think the stalactites are done. Yeah, the ceiling changed back. Okay, so what else am I? I'm going for an option now, I think. Oh, shoot! I went one past it. And that's the thing, too, is that, now I can't loop back around again, either. Ah, what the heck. Alright, so now I need to get them back again if I want to get another shield ready. So now suddenly it goes all Aztec on us, it's pyramid exploration time. My favorite time of the year. And this is where there's a point coming up where I don't know how you get by it. So these pillars move up and down in a second. And touching them is naturally instant death, because why not? And I don't know how you get past one particular section coming up. No! Okay, well that wasn't even the section. Like this section right here. But okay. Hey, I kept my options for whatever reason. I don't know what determines if you keep things when you die. And I even have a speed already in reserve, so I guess I'll use that. But like, look at this tight tight flying they make you do. Nope. Like, you know, tight flying where touching the walls kills you. Like, that's the thing. If touching walls didn't kill you, it would be no problem. And again, you know, I died, and I already had like a free speed power up. I don't know what what determines that, but this kind of reminds me of Mario Land, the submarine level. Shooting all the blocks, looking for power ups inside. Yeah, anything it wants to give me would be appreciated. Oh my goodness! I thought it was gonna get stopped by the blocks. Okay, let's just get to the boss, and hopefully we can survive that. And then we'll be at the beginning of level 5, rather level 6, with 3 continues left. Again, we're getting the hang of it. This might not be the winning run, but you can always use what you learn next time. And this is another one where it's like, you just gotta wait for the boss to show up, but not before the ceiling kind of falls in. And you gotta dodge that, but otherwise now we sit for like 30 seconds. Anthony, welcome! Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for stopping by. You used to dream about these type of games. It's like the Tetris effect, right? It's like, once you've played enough, you close your eyes and you can still kind of see that leftover. Okay, so yeah, we got good old Pharaoh head here with a nice 3D No. That's what happens when you move so slow. With a nice 3D effect thing going on, and he shoots bullet spray at you, which shouldn't be hard to dodge, but this is me we're talking about here. The problem is when he starts moving closer, and it's like, yeah, I have no speed power up, so enjoy. Absolutely wrecking me with your easy to dodge bullets. Yep. It's easy until he moves forward, like that. Nope. That's the end of that. But that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about shoot 'em ups, is the longer you can stay completely powered up, the longer you're just gonna kick butt. The second that you die and lose everything, it's like, good luck. But again, thanks everyone for joining. Hope you're having a great day, and hope you don't mind seeing a little bit of repeat here. Wait, now suddenly you can destroy them? I don't even know what the term is that. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. Shield, please. That's only option. I need one more power-up weapon to get to the shield. So I'm always a fan of shoot 'em ups that allow you to take a few hits before you die. It never feels good when it's like, oh, one hit, gotta redo everything. So I appreciate that they do allow you to at least get the shield in this game, which isn't initially obvious, considering it's a power-up you have to gain. And yeah, you get 1-ups easy. I don't know what the threshold is for earning 1-ups. It's never consistent. Like, the first one looks to be at 10,000, then it's like 50,000 or something. It's not like some games where it's like every 10,000 or every 20,000. And I read the instruction manual. I don't believe I saw it in there exactly what it is. Yikes. Yeah, if one more power-up item would like to show up so I can get the shield, I would appreciate that. Darn it. Oh, boy. And now we got no speed to avoid Stalactite Island here. Ah, it's not so hard. And now all the power-ups are going to show up, of course. Ugh. So every time I've ever gotten to this part, I've always been really powered up. So this is just kind of like a bonus area? Interesting. I've always destroyed them so quickly. I never understood what the whole point of this was. Let me see here. I'm playing Life Force. Hello, everyone. I see you spelled it without the space. Does it have a space or not? Maybe I botched the title there. I always thought it had a space, but maybe not. Turbo buttons would help a lot here. Like, yeah, I guess I could be okay. So what am I aiming for upgrade wise? Yeah, I don't even have the laser. I really want the laser. And now the shield would be nice. Yeah, if I could hit more of their bullets and get more power-up items, that'd be great. You know what? Let's just go with that. So following that, I think it's usually when you enter the pyramid. Okay, no, we still got a thing like this. Now see, missiles are really important for situations like this because they can kind of go into these crevices where otherwise you'd never be able to defeat these guys. Vertical movement is like, they ask a lot to, fit into these spaces. I think that's the spot I've probably never made it past before without dying. So if we could just keep going. Hey, there you go. And what am I trying to power up now? Yeah, the shield would be great. If I can somehow get by this without dying. Nope. I know I give this game credit for having nice hitboxes, but I don't know what it wants when it's that tight. And I've mentioned this again when I've talked about Abadox, this is one of those games where it feels like you fight the walls more than you actually fight the enemies. And that's why I like a game like 1943. Because, I mean, I was fine for 1 second and then I guess I hit the ceiling there. Oh my goodness. A Tuxedo Earth, welcome. Hope you're having a great day. A bit off topic, but you survived through. I don't think I ever went back to see it. Did you end up posting a link? Because I know in the comment when I read it originally, there wasn't one. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. NVIDIA Shield user portable gaming for the win. Says NES games for the win. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm always up for some good NES. And yeah, Life Force is what I'm currently on now. And then following this alphabetically is actually Linus Spacehead. But we already played that one, so I don't think we need to play that one again. But yeah, I'm always happy that, people still have interest in NES games. As I've mentioned, we definitely seem to be in an age now where GameCube and N64... See, with this weak weapon, it's like, good luck even defeating anything. GameCube and N64. So I guess there are some that you can destroy to get items out of, but they look exactly the same as all the other ones that don't destroy. So see, that's what we're doing though. We're learning, and this will all help us eventually have a winning run, and I'm sure not the too distant future. But yeah, like I said, it seems like slightly newer consoles are more popular these days, but to see that there are still people out there who appreciate... Oh, I don't think I've ever seen them explode before. I always defeat them fast enough. Ugh. Again, this is one of those games where once you're down, you're down. The point I'm trying to make though is that NES is great, and I'm happy that you're all here to watch some guy who obviously doesn't know how to play shoot 'em ups. Play a shoot 'em up. All right, let's start over. Let's take it from the top. I think we've learned our lesson here. Well, I didn't. Ugh. I wanted to go to end, but I pressed start. It just thought that it meant I wanted to play again. Whatever. One more round of practice. Why not? Like, see how much hard you have to work to defeat these guys when you don't have a good weapon. But okay. With a soundtrack as good as this, though, I don't mind replaying levels. Konami knew how to, you know, break out those NES beats for sure. Alright, we're getting powered up, which is what you want to see. See, like, I don't think I've ever seen these guys explode. I always defeat them fast enough. I say, as now they're going to start exploding. Oh, shoot. Oh. See? 10,000 points and a 1-up. You love to see it. So what's the strategy here? I unfortunately got killed by these things. Okay, so if you don't even go behind them, they'll eventually just do a thing like that, and then you don't have to deal with them anymore. Perfect, perfect. Alright, stalactite time. Like, whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Again, there's no way to shoot anywhere but forward, so nothing you can really do to defend against stuff coming from the top there. Alright, one more. I really want a shield. Okay. Please drop a power-up. Any other time... Oh, I see. The ones that drop power-ups are lighter in color. And of course, I'm never... There we go. That would be the shield. Thank you. Okay, what do we want next? Options usually pretty nice. More missiles are nice, though, too. So, do I have to defeat this guy, or can I just, like, wait until he shoots more things that drop power-ups? Always look for things like that that you can take advantage of in NES games. But then there's also that fear of, you know, you hang around too long and you make a dumb mistake and he defeats you anyway. Okay, we'll upgrade the laser. That sounds good. Alright, here we go. Into the pyramid one last time. If we can defeat all of these guys without getting killed. Of course, shield doesn't protect you from touching walls and stuff like that. And what do I want? What do I want to upgrade this time? Let's see. Let's actually... Okay, thank you. Word. All of the Castlevania soundtracks are amazing, right? We were just talking earlier about, do you prefer the NES Castlevania 3 or the Famicom one? That's amazing what they were able to do with the Famicom version. Like, just, oh, the NES was capable of making some really good music. Okay here. I guess we'll go for an option. Oh, I don't like this vertical shaft here. Okay. Okay, that's it. See, the shield. Oh, the shield saved me there. Okay. Oh, look at all those. Look at all of those. What could I do with those? Okay, I didn't get all of them, but enough. The general rule is that if you can destroy a block in front of you, that means you should fit through that space. Okay. Alright. So, this is the most powered up I've ever made it to this boss. Let's see how quickly we can take it out. As long as we don't get killed by the falling ceiling now that I've jinxed it. Okay. I have a fondness for some of the NES versions of the tracks, Tuxedo Earth, but I agree, I'm definitely in the, the Famicom camp now as well. Yeah, of course, Castlevania 4 had a great soundtrack too. Okay, so let's see what we can do here. How fast can I kick your butt with lasers? And the increased speed is nice too. So used to having to dodge bullets when I have no speed power-ups. Beautiful, just beautiful. So if we can do that without all of the mess-ups that we made previously, wow. Alright, so is this the final level, everyone? I don't know. There could be like secret levels. You just never know with a game like this. So what should I even be trying to upgrade at this point? Like another option I guess I could do. Why not a little bit extra speed just for fun? But again, you don't want to be moving too fast. We're going to be going through some narrow corridors coming up. Yeah, I've never been so well equipped at this point. Can I keep it? That's the question. Oh, so there's these fire things that just appear out of nowhere. And if you touch them, it's of course instant death. But they appear, like, just at random, it feels. You'll just be kind of flying around and it's like, oh, it appeared right where you were. Tough luck. And it's like, well, how was I supposed to prepare for that? Oh. I find just staying at the bottom of the screen is kind of the best move, but then that guy was kind of close to the bottom of the screen too. Oh, I don't like this. Like, see, fire guy, stay away from me. Yeah, so you really want to have missiles here. There's just going to be a lot of stuff on the walls that they can defeat for you. I know there's a fire guy, I think here. Yeah, anytime there's like a narrow passage you have to go to, they put a fire guy. So that if you kind of rush into it, you're almost guaranteed to hit him. Oh, an extra life, I'll take it. Okay, so I have my bar at the bottom set up so that if I need another force field around me, I can instantly equip it. And I know this is, again, another little narrow passageway where they put a fire guy. Okay, so Moai heads. Moai heads, for whatever reason, Konami loves these things. There was literally a game in Japan called Moai-kun. It was a puzzle game where you play as a Moai. But yeah, these appear in like the first in Gradius in this game. Taito liked them as well, the final boss of Arkanoid. I mean, they're mysterious, I guess, so... So this is kind of like boss Moai head. It's weird. The game won't continue until you defeat these two Moai heads that jump at you. And this is the most equipped I've ever been at this point, so wow, they went down fast. And now there's a bit more level, and this is the furthest I've gotten. Is this corridor right here. Because I was like super weak when I got here the first time. I mean, that's the boss music. Are we coming up on the final boss here? Why is it slowing down? Why is it slowing down? What's gonna happen? That's suspense when you don't know what's coming up. And of course, your subsequent playthroughs will be better because you know what to prepare for. Alright, according to the instruction manual, this looks like a final boss sort of thing. But what do I do? I mean, I see the eyeball. Oh, okay. So, I thought maybe I was supposed to, you know, go around it. So again, that's one of those situations where it's like, you know, in subsequent playthroughs, you'll do better because you know what to do. Okay, well, that was the thing. And now the screen is still slowly scrolling. Okay, so now with absolutely no oh! Let me guess, we're supposed to be at the front. Okay, see, in the original Gradius, they pull a really mean trick on you, where you have to be at the front of the screen. See, like that one that closed there? Is that it? What is... Oh, so that wasn't the end of the game? I'm so confused. Like, this feels like level 4 again, right? Yeah, this is level 4, isn't it? Unless it's different. Well, there's that anyway. So what happened? Was that the final boss or was it not? The eye must be killed, says Surge. And so what did it do then? It sends you back to level 4 if you don't kill it? Huh. Well, I think we understand what we're doing anyway. But, yeah, so what is the condition then for winning the game? Like, if I had just been able to hit that eye more, would I have won? Very weird. And was that level 4 again, or was that something different? Do you just have to, like, keep replaying the game until you get enough hits on it to kill it? Oh yeah, when the like a video game played with an orchestra, isn't that cool when you know, things like that? Well, I guess we'll try again. That very clearly didn't feel like an end of the game moment. But if anyone wants to shine some light exactly what you're supposed to do or how that works, you know, I won't complain too much. There's nothing worse than, you know, when things aren't really self-explanatory. I mean, I read the manual, so it's not like I'm missing something because I, you know, didn't read that. But hopefully we can take what we've learned now, and, you know, we should have a better run this time. Let me see here. Killing the layer is mandatory. Huh. And that escape sequence at the end, too. What was up with that? That was tough. You know, if you had a speed power-up, maybe you could do it. Ah! Alright, let's reset this one. I'm all out of whack now. But... And then there was even one of those doors that did close, and where if you don't know it's going to do that to get in front of it... Oh, I always do that. I always press start. And then... it just thinks I want to continue, and no. I don't want to waste a continue on the first level. So that eye, huh? Wonder what we do about that. Back. So I don't believe that Life Force is on Nintendo Switch Online. I believe we saw it on the Wii U eShop before it closed down, so unfortunately if you like what you see, it's too late to go and buy it now. But the fact that it has simultaneous multiplayer, I'd love to try that out someday. And if it ever goes on Nintendo Switch Online, that would be like the perfect way to do it too. But yeah, there's definitely a few NES games on the Switch Online service that would be cool to have. The thing is, though, that, you know, Capcom and Konami, they really seem to be into selling game compilations now, instead of just putting their things on those online services, which is funny because during the GameCube era, GameCube, PS2, Xbox, you know, that era was all about game compilations. You had Sonic compilations, Mega Man compilations, just compilations for everything. And then when the Virtual Console came out on the Wii, that kind of disappeared for that generation, and everything started going on to these digital storefronts. But now we're back to a point again where companies are just releasing, you know, compilations instead of putting their things on, like, you know, Nintendo Switch Online. Like, Capcom would rather sell you the Mega Man Legacy Collection games than put their Mega Man games on the Switch Online service. Which I get, but it's also a shame. Alright, can we do this part? This is one of my least favorite parts of the game right here, just because of how awkward the reappearing walls are. Okay. You learned about the fact that it's possible to not kill the eye all the time. So again, like, there is an ending screen, right? Like, the game doesn't just loop around. I did something wrong, which is why I got sent back to what looked like the 4th level. I would assume that the game actually ends. You know, Gradius had an ending, even though that game kind of loops around several times. Okay, hopefully with all the knowledge we've gained, we can have like a really epic run here. And we'll see what happens now. The last level wasn't that bad, and I kind of really messed up on, you know, once the eye appeared, I thought we had to do one thing, and it wasn't the case. It seemed like the dragon was kind of pushing you in a circle, but I guess if I had just stayed at the bottom, I would have been safe! Whoops. Alright, let's get our force shield pulled up here. And now we can focus on upgrading some other things. So last time we made it up to level 3 without a death, and my record is making it up to level 5 without a death, so let's see if we can do that this time. Alright, I think that's enough speed. Any faster and I'll probably make dumb mistakes like running into walls. But again, hope you're all having a great Wednesday afternoon. I'm happy to see that, you know, this time does generally work. What time did I start at? It was like 4 or something? Or was it just after 3? I can't look at the clock right now. There's nothing worse than, you know, trying to take your eyes off the game for a second, only for that to be your demise. But again, it's great to hear. You know, maybe I'll try streaming at times like this in the future, too, if that's what people like. I don't know, nighttime always feels like, you know, a good time to game, but I get that it's not always great for everyone else to watch. But thanks again, everyone. Hope you're enjoying some Life Force on the NES here. Really fun game. Again, there is a Konami code for this game. You enter the Konami code on the title screen, and you can get 30 lives to start with. And I'm assuming that each time you continue, it probably also takes you up to 30 lives again. Oh my goodness. See, like, this part really tripped me up when I first started playing. I guess I didn't have enough speed power-ups to effectively dodge all of that, but that's crazy. Also, this part sucks too. You know, these rocks that you can't even break. Like, wow! Freaking wow! I'm not sure how I did that, but okay. Get away from these guys. Whew! Little do you know, I entered the no-clip code when everyone wasn't looking. That'd be funny. I doubt this. I mean, unless you probably... I mean, if you put in the Game Genie, there's probably a code for, like, walls don't kill you. That sounds like it would be amazing. So yeah, of all the bosses, the second level boss seemed like kind of the most difficult one. I'm not sure why they made this boss so crazy with 2 stages and everything. But they did. Sonic Mega Collection and then Sonic Gem Mega Collection Plus. Yeah, I loved those back in the day. They were great. I remember always being disappointed that Mega Collection Plus never came out for the GameCube, but I played most of those Game Gear games too, like Sonic Adventure DX anyway. Yeah, Sonic Adventure DX was another one. It blew my mind when you could unlock all of those Game Gear games in there. I see that they're releasing an update, I think, for the Sonic collection that's out now, Sonic Origins, where you can get the Game Gear games. I feel like once you've played those once, though, they're not too replayable. They're not all-time classics like the Genesis Sonic games are. And I've played enough of the Game Gear ones to last a lifetime at this point. But you know, if anyone out there hasn't checked those out, that's a cool update for there to be. There we go. All right. Now, can we survive level 3? So we are now powered up to the point where if we take a hit, we can re-get our shield, which is nice. And that becomes a game of having to dodge these power-ups, where you would think, okay, why would it be a problem? But power-ups are always a good thing, right? But not in this case. So let's hang it at the back, dodge what we need to, watch for those things coming from the front. Again, it's funny how intense this level is when, like, level 4 is not even that bad. Level 5's not that bad either, except for the end. Okay, so... when it comes to scrolling shooters, what do you prefer? Do you prefer horizontal or vertical? Again, I think just because a lot of the earlier shooters I played, like 1943, were vertical, that's kind of my go-to, but I've come to really enjoy horizontal ones as well. Where there was a time where it was like I really wasn't that into the horizontal stuff. That sucks. You have all that powered up and one little accidental hit there and you're back to nothing. Back to absolute nothing. Again, thankfully level 4, it's very easy to get your power-ups back. But we're going to have a whole bunch of fumbling here before we get to that point, so enjoy that. I was doing really well, too. You have all things to destroy me. I didn't see that one coming. Ugh. Just trying to get some power-ups instead of getting my butt handed to me. That one-up sound effect, did I get 2 one-ups there for some reason? Or just played twice for some reason? Nope. One of the worst shoot-em-ups I've ever played, though, was this one called Galactic Crusaders. It was like a Color Dreams game on, unlicensed on the NES. That one was not fun. All right, level 3 once again with the extremely. Just everything about level 3 is mean. And I was hoping we could get through it that time without a death, but once you get 1 death in a game like this, it just kind of cascades and suddenly. You're not having a good time. The graphic was kind of, looping from the top to the bottom there. Oh my gosh, that was close. Any second now, there we go. Kick the pumpkin, welcome! Palpuck, you revisit Tails' Adventure. Isn't that a cool little, Metroidvania-styled game? It's really neat. Laser is helpful for most, but really fond of using Ripple. As if you remember it, Ripple passes through walls? I don't remember seeing that when I tried it out. Might be worth experimenting with, but that's actually a really fascinating point if true. Thank you for mentioning that. Kick the pumpkin. Hope you're doing well. You got this, Andrew. Thank you. Fingers crossed. And I like the snake there guy, or is that like a dragon guy? But okay, so let's see. We got no lives, but. We can play our cards right. This isn't the worst level. So sure, you want me to try Ripple then? Let's see what it does. Why not? Well, it doesn't go through enemies that, are invincible, which is expected. Yeah, can't defeat those guys with it. But if there's a wall up here, we will check out to see if that works. No, the Ripple also seems to be stopped by the wall. Ugh. Okay. So, I meant to go to the right. Missed all those power-ups. Where are we at now? So I think I'm going to switch back to laser. Because I could see Ripple being really useful if it indeed did pass through the walls. But I didn't see it, but maybe there's some walls it does pass through then. And as I said, when I first started playing this game, I was using Ripple. But I came to find that Laser did a much better job for me. There's a 1-up. Always like to hear that sound. And then this part here, where you're not going to know the first time you play this that all of a sudden this comes from the walls. And you want to stay near the back as much as possible in a game like this, but then, just like in Gradius, and it looks like in this game sometimes too, they pull that evil move where like a door will close. I mean, yeah, we have even seen in like the first level, you know, a wall or a door will close in front of you, and if you didn't rush it, you don't make it through, but there was no way that you knew that was going to happen before it closes and you're stuck on the other side. So, you know, this game's definitely up there with Battletoads in moments that you're not going to know how to deal with until you've died to it at least a couple times. But that's the NES way, I suppose. I feel like I should just stay away from that guy. Don't risk it. And this is another part where, like, the first time I got here, you start panicking because, oh my gosh, there's lasers being fired everywhere, but just stay at the bottom. Only look at these things that are falling down and avoid those, like I almost just didn't. Unfortunately, like, you can't destroy them. Or when I shot it, did it actually, like, break higher up? Is that what happened? Oh, it did, too. Maybe. They're kind of weird, but they are instant kills. So that's the main thing we know. And see, like, the laser is so good for situations like this. It's just like a constant stream of damage going into the enemy. That eye will come back from the bottom at some point, so we have to be careful of that. You can destroy the eyes, but if you destroy the boss, the eyes get destroyed too, so just focus on that if you can. But if you're stuck with the normal shot, like I was one time when I got there, then it might be better to destroy the eyes too. Ugh. I would love an option guy following behind me. Give me a little bit of extra firepower. So maybe that's the thing, is that laser doesn't break these guys. Oh, no, some of them still break. And my laser's not even fully powered up either. I'm not going down into the floor to try and get that. Another one up, I'll take it. Yeah, the laser weapon always reminds me of 1943, again, I've mentioned, where in the NES version there's like a whole stat system where you can upgrade different things, and one of them is that you can upgrade what types of special weapons are available for you to use, and the very last one that you unlock is the unlimited laser. So normally in 1943 you have to charge up in order to use a laser, but you can just, you know, press B as much as you want and use it, which is really nice. I'm always kind of on the fence between using that or the spread shot. But typically in the later levels, I'll go with the laser. Just so good for bosses. And in the final level of 1943, you have to do a 5-boss rush, which is pretty intense. But I love 1943 again. Beat it way back in the day, and it's always stuck with me. It's just a really cool game. So what am I doing here? So I can upgrade to another option. Oh yeah, these guys. Okay. Okay, I still need to upgrade my laser one more time, so I guess we'll do that. Do that. And having another force field in reserve would be nice too, although of course it's all irrelevant if we die from these moving pillars that are coming up. Which we have successfully gotten by. without the death, but it's a tight fit. And it's almost a situation where it feels like having less speed might be beneficial, just because it feels like you have a little more control. But the higher speed's obviously good when you're moving vertically, too. Like, look at that! Look at those gaps! That's ridiculous. This part's not fun either. I really don't like going through these tight spaces. Oh, like in this too, yes. Okay. Okay, okay. This could be worse. I'm not too worried about power-ups. We're pretty good. I don't really want to go any faster, that's for sure. Alright, so we have another force field in reserve now, should we need it. Okay, boss coming up. Let's do it. We went from having an absolutely disgusting third level to having a phenomenal fourth and hopefully fifth level here. Okay, perfect. Oh, Barai Fighter, yes! Oh, I completely... Now, that one always slips my mind when I'm thinking of NES shoot-'em-ups. That was fun. That was a fun one. Yeah, Battletoads, we have to avoid obstacles while on a speeder. Oh my gosh, I made a whole video, if you check out my channel, about how the Turbo Tunnel is actually one of the fairer parts of Battletoads, if you can believe it. Like, I can't even see what's coming at me. It's hardly even, you know, showing up on screen because there's so much going on. That is so nice when you have a fully powered up ship. My goodness. Alright, level 6 again. What's going to happen this time? Again, I have no idea exactly what happened when we got to the end of this level last time. Someone said you have to destroy the eye, but like, what exactly does that entail? Just I didn't hit it enough, but then I was shooting at it and, you know, it didn't seem to be doing much. So we're in a weird situation where, like, I don't want to touch any power-ups. It's always an odd moment when it's like, power-ups are bad. But I like how I am right now. So one of the weird parts about shooting the lasers is that the lasers move horizontally with you. Oh my gosh, those fire things that insta-kill ya. That's exactly what's going to happen to me, isn't it? I'm gonna just be randomly spawned on top of by a fire thing. Okay. So far, so good. Moai heads are coming up, though. Those aren't fun to deal with, but again, the laser just seems so perfect for destroying tough enemies really quick. And that's really important in a game like this, where, again, I haven't found a really good spot for the ripple weapon. If it could go through walls, I could totally see it being more useful. But from what I've tried, I didn't see that. Unless I'm just doing something wrong, which is totally possible. My missiles kind of make this whole part right here kind of a joke. But, you know, I'm not going to complain. It's going to get a lot tougher from here. I'm just so afraid of accidentally touching the walls. Okay. So then these are the ones you have to defeat, which is really weird. So we got that guy, another 1-up. For some reason, 220,000. Beans a 1-up. Okay, so those guys done. And again, you have to fight those guys until they're gone. And when I had just the basic weapon, they were really rough. But coming here with lasers is like, wow, it's a whole other story. Oh my gosh, I almost ran into the wall there. I assume that line down the middle is a wall. I've never touched it to find out. Okay, so this is the part where the eye is going to show up. I have no idea what it wants from me here. Space Shrimp, your favorite, Big Phil, yes. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, there's this big orb thing with an eye in the middle. And then a dragon shows up, and it's like, what does it want? Like, see how my shots are going right through it? Okay. The eye is dead. Because we had laser this time, but the last time I screwed up, we didn't have the laser. We also have 6 lives now for the escape sequence with speed. Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. We can do it. And I hate this slow kind of build-up to just blasting off. What a... so suspenseful. Okay, well, we've lost the nice speed power-up that we had. See, how are you supposed to know that door is going to close on you like that? Yo! Did we do it? I think we did it! I mean, the planet's literally blowing up. You can't do it much more than that. Yeah! Konami! There you go, everyone. We beat Life Force. No game overs, by the way. We were like this close. Thank you! Thank you so much, NVIDIA Shield user. It's not even like a congratulations, it's literally just, here's the Konami logo for you to appreciate. We made this game. Palpuck, thank you. Big Phil, thank you. Whew, what'd that take? An hour and a half? Not too shabby. Yeah, so another one off the list. Great game. Whenever I see a Konami game coming up on the shelf, I'm always looking forward to it because, you know, I don't think I've played a Konami game yet that I was like, ugh, that was awful. No, they've all been great, so, yeah. Life Force up there as well. And I definitely want to get my hands on Gradius 2 someday. Because I think that would be neat to play as well. But is anything going to happen here? It seems now that the music has stopped. Should I press something? Oh, nothing. I didn't press anything. Okay, and it takes you back to the beginning. Score intact, lives intact. Because you see on the score meter down there, you know, there's a 7th digit to go into the millions. And obviously just one loop through was not enough to get us there. So do we keep going until we can't anymore? Do you think the second loop's going to be more difficult? Let's experiment a little anyway. But I did remove all of my power-ups. Thanks, game. Makes me super happy when that happens. Anyone just joining the stream now is going to be like, ugh, he's starting from the beginning again? But I appreciate you all hanging on. Again, I feel bad playing games where it seems like I'm going to be replaying a lot of stuff. Because, you know, obviously new content is more fun to see, but... yeah, I think that was pretty good overall. So far I'm not really noticing any differences. Of course, there's some games like Ghosts and Goblins where you just have to replay the exact same thing twice before it's like the true ending, but I don't know about that. Or like Gunsmoke's another one on the NES where you get like a congratulations, you beat the game screen and everything, and it takes you back to the first level, where it's like, okay, so the game just loops around forever then. But no, not really, because if you beat the game 3 times, apparently you get like a special message that you didn't get the first 2 times, and it's like, why are you just making the person play the same game 3 times? Again, that's a way to, to make your games a little longer back in the day, make people feel like they got more of their money's worth. But I didn't even know that was a thing until I had already turned the game off and read about it later. And then there's games that just go blatantly do it, like James Bond Jr., where you beat all 4 levels, and then the general guy is like, oh no, the bad guy escapes. The only way to actually catch him is to play through all the levels again. Like, he's like breaking the 4th wall to tell you, yeah, we couldn't have, we didn't make a very long game, so enjoy playing the whole thing again. And that's always a good laugh, but okay. Let me see here. Practice makes perfect. Exactly, right? And that's what I always say about retro games. Unfortunately, there's going to be those runs that aren't so beautiful. But, keep practicing and eventually it's like a masterpiece theater time. And yeah, I think that was ultimately a really good run through the game. It looked like it was going to be really bad after level 3. Level 3 is probably my least favorite level. It's probably the most difficult one. Not even being halfway through the game sure makes a lot of sense. But yeah, overall I really liked it. And that was so weird how that time I didn't defeat the Eye. It just dumped us back in World 4 for some reason. Like, I'm not sure what was up with that, but thankfully the next time through the game, we didn't have much of an issue with the Eye. And again, the laser. The laser is the key. The laser is just so powerful. It's awesome. Spy Hunter's a good time. Yeah, the NES has Spy Hunter, Super Spy Hunter. So, again, anyone who's checking out the stream now, thank you so much. We've actually already beat the game, and it just loops around again. So I'm just kind of seeing how far we can go. Might as well not waste a good thing when you got it going. But I am playing through every single NES game alphabetically, and I stream a lot of them. I don't stream every single one. Like, I recently played Lemmings and Lemperor, like a Koei strategy game, and those are just tedious. They're not. I can't imagine those would be any fun to watch. Oh, they're shooting at me now. The boss is more difficult in the second loop. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this guy shot at you before. So we did find a change then. But still really easy to defeat with the laser. But yeah, if you don't know who I am, or you've just clicked on this, it showed up in your recommendations, I really appreciate you checking it out. And yeah, feel free to check out some of my other streams if you want to see me beat some other difficult NES games. Like I've beat Ghostbusters, I beat Dragon's Lair, a whole bunch of crazy things. And if you want to see more of that, don't be afraid to subscribe either. I always really appreciate that. Let's get the force field going here. Because yeah, when I beat the game, they for some reason took away all my power-ups. I kept my score, but I lost all my power-ups. I would have preferred if they had taken my score and let me keep the power-ups, but I guess it was non-negotiable. Because there's a whole debate you can have when it comes to second quests, right? Like, in terms of this, like, I think I would consider it I've beat the game, even though there are differences on the second loop. Like, you wouldn't say that someone didn't beat Super Mario Brothers because they didn't do the second quest, or you wouldn't say that someone didn't beat Zelda because they didn't do the second quest. Like, there's a whole debate that you can have there, which is kind of fascinating. But in this case, it's like, it's the same game, and even the levels are generally the same from what I can tell. It seems like just the bosses are a little tougher, so I mean, I'm gonna keep going for as long as I can. Let's see what they did to spruce up the bosses. I'm sure level 3 will probably be the end of us anyway, knowing how that usually goes. Whoa! Like, again, I'm flickering so much, I didn't even know where I was for a second there. I saw an explosion, I thought it was me going into the wall for a second. But again, thanks for your support, everyone. I'm really happy that, I decided to stream this, and, something for everyone to give a good watch now. And yeah, I'll try to do more afternoon streams in the future. Again, nights always works out well for me, but considering how many people were able to join at this time, it's definitely encouraging. And it makes you want to strive to do more around now, so sounds good to me. And also later tonight, I need to record a video for later this week. So hopefully I still got some voice left in me to do that. I don't think I've talked too much in this stream. For whatever reason, I was playing Linus Spacehead. I was just, losing it there. Real-time laryngitis. Okay, what's going to be different about this boss? This boss, again, was like the most difficult boss of them all. And it was for some reason the second level boss. I like how I went from having 0 lives that one time to being up to 6 again. This goes to show, never give up. Well, so far that wasn't any more difficult. I probably shouldn't look over. I'm so used to this being like a no danger zone, but they could have added enemies or anything for the second run. I'm assuming this guy will probably shoot at you or something. Maybe that's just the gimmick. Every boss now shoots at you. And remember, if you stop shooting, he moves faster, so hold that B button down and give yourself a couple extra seconds to... Oh, he's flipped directions! Ah! I got lucky. I could have easily got caught by that. Yeah, you really gotta, be careful. We were okay. Again, what a tough boss for being the second level. If you don't have the laser, it's like, good luck. Now, the ripple you're thinking about was from Burai Fighter. Oh, I gotcha, yes. It's crazy to think. It's been almost a year since I beat Burai Fighter. Definitely one I'll happily check out again someday. Yeah, definitely a very cool shooter, and not one you hear much about. It's also not a very expensive one, still for the NES, I don't think. It's funny how shmups always tend to be some of the more expensive games on a console. But some of the NES ones, like, again, 1943, Burai Fighter... Even, I don't think Life Force is very expensive. Okay, so level 3 here. This is probably where we will meet our demise. And again, we just keep getting 1-ups, and I still don't understand what the point threshold is for getting a 1-up. It just happens at arbitrary numbers, it seems. Oh my goodness. Alright, so there you go. As predicted, we can't make it through level 3 without at least 1 screw-up. Or, 2 screw-ups, why not? More screw-ups the better, I always say. But it's so nice that they put level 4 after level 3, because, they knew how to count. But in level 4, you can get lots of power-ups, get right back to full strength again. You just gotta, tough this out, which is easier said than done. And again, I've made it through level 3 without dying before. It's just a matter of forgetting how to play video games. Happens every once in a while. Ugh. Thank you. So I'm curious what they're going to do to make the level 3 boss more difficult. Because remember, it was always one of the easier ones. So I'm kind of afraid. Because it was always one that was easy to defeat with even just the normal weapon, which is very rare for bosses in this game. Well, I guess we're about to find out. And thankfully, I've powered up my speed a little bit, so we're not as weak as we could be. So again, anyone who might have dipped out for a bit and is just joining now, this is already the second loop through the game. So technically, we've beaten it, but we're just seeing what's different on on a second run through. Overall, in terms of this boss, I'm not noticing anything. Maybe it has more health? It seems to be shooting a little more frequently. Which again, without that speed upgrade we have, it would be pretty annoying. I'm also, I think, definitely noticing it's taken more hits, too. Definitely taking more hits. There you go. So, in that first run through, was level 3 the only level I died on? So if I practice level 3 a bit more, I could probably almost, no death run this game if I really wanted to. Again, right now I'm going for variety in games, so I'm not, speed running any of them in particular or trying to do any particular challenges, but once I've completed my, beating every game in the NES library, I would not be against doing some more, wacky challenges like that. I'm also excited to move on to other consoles too, where I'm probably not going to do like I'm doing with NES and play through every game alphabetically, but, I want to see how many different games I can beat for how many different consoles. But NES is definitely priority number 1. It's my all-time favorite console. I own just about every single game for it. So yeah, it makes perfect sense, I think, to do a challenge like this, and I've been enjoying it so much. Again, approaching that 400 games threshold. I think it's like 5 more games to go, and I've beat 400 NES games, including unlicensed ones. It's crazy to think that, I was only at like 50 games or so a year and a half ago. Ooh, I should have been trying to build up a shield. Hopefully there's still enough to do that. I kind of forgot I didn't have a shield equipped. Yes! Perfect. What do we got here? Jack Green! Thank you so much for stopping by. We beat Life Force, but the game just kind of looped around again. And it's, I guess, supposed to be a more difficult second loop, except you'll be hard-pressed to find much that's much different. But yeah, things are going really well. We beat it. Thank you for stopping by, and we're just seeing how far we can get before the game tells us to go outside and get some exercise or something. Anyone else ever have experience with that with the Virtual Boy, where like every 20 minutes it would say break time, and you could just press the A button to skip that? It'd be like, yeah, right. By the time you came back from your break, those 6 AA batteries powering your Virtual Boy are going to be so dead. I'll never forget when I got my Virtual Boy, and it actually came with the battery pack. It was the first, when I first bought my Virtual Boy, it was like 2006 on eBay. I paid $60 for a Virtual Boy with 6 games, and it had the battery pack, not the AC adapter. And I'll never forget it. I was playing it for like a couple of hours, and it was already saying that the battery was about to die. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I had heard that the battery was bad, but I don't know. I guess I had expected more from 6 AA's. So I immediately went and bought an AC adapter. And the cool thing about that was that the AC adapter showed up complete in the original box, which I don't even think was listed on the ad. So otherwise I wouldn't have that. So it all worked out in the end. But yeah, I collected the complete Virtual Boy game collection back in 2006. And the reason I got into that was because I wanted to play some Virtual Boy Wario Land, which led to me buying the Virtual Boy, which is one of those original 6 games that came included with it. And then by that point, there's only 14 North American Virtual Boy games, so it's like I'm halfway there. I might as well go for the rest, and most of them on eBay were like $10 back then. shrimp. Space shrimp. Oh, there's more lasers now. That's what was kind of confusing me at this point. Second quest has more lasers at the bottom of the screen. So I just kind of bought the last 8. It wasn't really that big of a deal. That was back before I would pay for things online. The whole, oh my god, someone's gonna see their credit card information. So what we actually did was I got my parents to go to the bank, and they would get like cashier's checks. And we would actually pay for things on eBay through checks in the mail, if you can believe it. And that was how I collected every Virtual Boy game. I paid $50, a whopping $50. It felt like breaking the bank for Jack Bros back then. It was the most expensive game. I left it for last, always hoping to get a good deal on it, but I was like, I guess I'll pay $50. And wow, that's a game that's really shot up these days. And which is such a shame, because I hate how video game collecting, and people are in it for like the investment now. My channel was always about just sharing the fun of retro collecting and thrifting. When now it's, half the channels out there are just about like going to the thrift store, finding stuff that they can flip for a quick buck, and it's definitely changed a lot out there, that's for sure. Where here I am actually playing the games that I bought. It's a crazy concept, I know. But I appreciate you all joining, and again, always happy to see that people out there still have appreciation for the NES as I smash into a bullet like a big dummy. I know that some of these break and there's like power-ups in them. Maybe that's different in the second quest. Maybe they took that out. Yeah, none of them broke, so I'm not sure what to say about that. Ooh, a 1-up. I'll take it. Again, like, why at 370,000? That's the time when they decide you should get a 1-up? I don't know. Also, there are only one set of enemies coming out of each of these, and not multiple, like there were in the first quest. So I don't know why the second quest is easier in that regard, but I guess I won't complain. And this is definitely my favorite track in the game. Oh, it's so good. Konami, you were the best. This reminds me of a mini game from WarioWare, the original, Dribble and Spits. It had to have been inspired by this. And I was always good at that minigame, so I guess that's why I'm decent at this too. Alright, stalactite time! Is it any more difficult than it was before? That's, I think, my first death from it, so maybe. Although I usually come here with at least a couple speed power-ups, so this makes it a little more difficult, like that. That's my beautiful gaming skills on display for all to see. Remember, I've already beat the game. This is just for fun. Oh, and then they start showing up during this part? Interesting. Also, I'm noticing there aren't as many power-up capsules being shot from these guys. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, in fact, they're not shooting any power-up capsules at all. They still drop them, which is nice. Don't forget, we still have the whole pyramid section to go through, which is kind of scary to think about. But see how when you have just the normal shot, nothing gets done. It's amazing how much of a difference the laser makes. This always feels like there's a secret to it or something, but not that I see anyway. Alright, we're down to our last life. Will the pillars do us in? No, it was the bullet that came from the guy who I thought was going to be destroyed. So we could continue. I mean, the second quest doesn't seem all that much different. Diego, welcome! So we beat Life Force. And then it's one of those games that kind of, just keeps looping around from the looks of it. Does this game have like any more of an ending to it than what we saw? We literally saw the planet blow up. And then we got the Konami logo, and then she sent us back to the beginning. So I was just kind of seeing how much farther we could go. We had a really bad level 3, and we screwed up in level 4 because of the shrimp, those darn mechanical shrimp. But otherwise, I think we're just about ready to wrap this up. Unless anyone has any last thoughts, any Life Force pros in the chat. But again, thanks everyone for joining. This afternoon stream went really well. I'll keep this time in mind. And perhaps we'll do it again. So we've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. So, 3:30-ish seemed to have been pretty good to start. Nvidia, thank you so much. Yeah, I really appreciate that and hope to see you again soon. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Again, I've technically beat the game. I don't usually do walkthroughs, but there's some times that you just gotta know what's going on because the game doesn't tell you. I also usually go to the cutting room floor as well. My usual way that I play a game is I'll read the manual, beat the game, and then I'll go to the cutting room floor, see any stuff that was cut from the game, because you don't want to see that sort of thing before you've beaten it. It might spoil the ending or something like that. Maybe it will mention if there's multiple endings. Might as well do this anyway. It looks better than being stuck on the game over screen. So this game has unused graphics. What else we got? Regional differences. The stars in the background on stage 5 are animated in the Famicom version. Oh, that's unfortunate. I actually have the Famicom version, I'm almost tempted to just pop it in and see what's different. In fact, I might just do that. I think I'm going to do that. Life Force makes use of a code on the title screen which increases the number of lives from 3 to 30, but it's not the Konami code, only part of it. Up, up, down, down, left, right. The program will ignore left or right pressings. Yeah, I tried the full Konami code and noticed that it worked, so interesting. Title screen is animated in the Japanese version. I'm pulling the Japanese version out. We're going to see what's different. Oh, the power bars look way different. Okay, so I just want to hear about the endings. The ending, okay. Salamander has 3 endings, each of which has credits on the right side and a different picture of the left. Okay. Oh my gosh, so Salamander has 3 endings, and they're different depending on how many times you continued, because you get 3 continues, while Life Force has only 1 ending, skipping the entire staff roll and only showing a Konami logo. So even though I beat it with no continues, we could have had the best ending in Salamander, but instead we got gypped, and terrible. So I'm gonna go pull out Salamander. Why not? Let's see what's different. Clearly, if there's no different ending, there's no reason to play this anymore. The bosses are only marginally different. But thanks everyone for sticking around for Life Force anyway. I'll be right back after I get that Famicom cartridge. Might as well clean it too, for good measure. I've noticed that even if you just don't play a Famicom, an NES game or a Famicom game for a while, you just never know what's building up on the pins. And that's considering I always keep my games in dust covers, so it's not dust getting on there. It's just like a Who knows? Yeah, probably for the best that we did this, so that there's no excuses for it to freeze or glitch as we're playing. Who knows, it could still do that. And if you've never seen it, Salamander has a really cool looking NES cartridge, or rather Famicom cartridge. It's like transparent. I actually featured it in one of my videos where I showed off finding Famicom converters inside of early NES carts, if you want to see that. But okay, let's see what we got here. Whoa, look at that. So yeah, as you can see, there's definitely a few differences. Like, they have that full power-up bar at the bottom, like you have in Gradius, which I really like. It's a lot easier to kind of see on the fly, where what you probably noticed I was doing was, I had to pause every once in a while to even see where it was at, because the way they have it in the North American version was a little bit harder to perceive. So let's just do a quick little thing here. We're not going to play through the whole thing, and see what's different. Okay, well, the music sounds the same anyway. Definitely not one of those games that where it's got to adjust the microphone. It's, it seems like that. They changed a whole lot. I don't understand why in this game and in Gradius there's like no sound effects right at the beginning. And then once the music reaches a certain point, it's like, all right, the sound effects kicked in. But yeah, generally it seems to be the same game. So yeah. But again, the cartridge is what's the coolest part about Salamander. Definitely look up if you've never seen it, or look up that video about Famicom converters that I did. I think it's actually featured in the thumbnail, although it's also featured in the video itself. It's definitely one of the cooler looking Famicom cartridges, and I love that about Famicom carts, where they can all kind of have their own, characteristics and design to them, where everything is so streamlined in North America, with the exception of the unlicensed games, which I kind of like that, seeing them on the shelf. It almost reminds me of how in Japan, all of the Famicom carts could look different. Oh, I went way too far here by accident. Isn't this a different color in the North American version? I thought the walls were orange here. Now maybe I'm thinking of a different area, different part of the level. But I always love seeing, what differences different versions of the games have. So we'll probably beat this level and then we'll call the stream. But again, thank you everyone who could join. Really happy that the afternoon stream worked out well. And yeah, I'll definitely do it in the future then, considering it seems like everyone enjoyed that. But otherwise, yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like there's too much different going on here. In terms of shmups, though, definitely better than Gradius. Gradius I thought was okay, but it was definitely kind of, the beginning of the shmup genre there, of Konami's, foray into it. But Salamander definitely improves on that. And again, Gradius 2, definitely looking forward on giving that a shot someday. Because if I'm correct, I think it was released in between Gradius 1 and Light Force. Or I'm not sure why they called it Salamander then. The instruction manual for Light Force, the North American one, even references, Gradius. So obviously it's, the same universe and everything. And let's see, is the boss going to be as easy as it was in the North American one? There's one funny thing is that, like, the Japanese version of Contra it's easier than the North American version, because in the Japanese version, when you beat it, it's just like this one where it loops, and you know, the second loop will be more difficult. Where I think the first loop in the North American one is as difficult as the second loop in the Japanese one. It's always, Konami was really weird when it came to making changes to their games. Castlevania 3 was the same, where the Japanese version is actually easier than the North American version. And there's a whole variety of reasons why they did that. But it's always what makes me laugh when people say that, you know, the Japanese Mario 2 never came to North America because it was too hard. Meanwhile, you have all these other companies that were purposely making their games harder for North America. But with that, I think we have experienced enough Life Force at this point. Incredible game. Probably even cooler with 2 players simultaneous play. If you're ever looking for a shmup with 2 players simultaneous play, 2-player co-op, Salamander would be a great one for that. Hope to, you know, really get the good chance to try that someday. And again, I don't think it's on Nintendo Switch Online, but if it ever is, that would be a great way to do it. So thanks again, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I hope to see you again soon. So thanks and take care. No, by the way, for anyone just joining at the end here, we did beat the game. That's important to note. We're not just giving up on it. We beat it. Thanks again for everyone who was there.